Genesis 1:28, and God blessed them, and God said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. Psalms 127, verses 3-5 says, Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. Is the man that hath his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate. The enemies in the gate means the gate is where political matters occurred. That's where communities decided, where court was held, where the people there acted as jurors, and people were tried. It's where political matters were decided and discussed. And to be able to speak with your enemies in the gate means that you can confidently confront your political enemies. And this is saying that a man can do that who has many children. Do we have a population problem from having too many Americans and too many immigrants? Are too many coming too fast for us to assimilate? In other words, has God let these verses, along with the Matthew 25 verses about taking in strangers, has God let these verses go out of date? Or is he ignorant of the population problems in today's world? Or is he just not as bright as we all thought? Has mankind gained greater understanding than God about the effects of population growth? Or is our population problem that we have too few because we have slain 55 million through abortion in the last 39 years? Just one of the consequences of slaying 55 million of our youngest and most innocent is that our population is so top-heavy with entitlement recipients that entitlement expenses alone, plus interest on our national debt, exceeds our federal income, leaving the entire rest of our federal budget, discretionary spending, that's about $700 billion for defense and almost that much for everything else, has to go on credit cards. Let me say that with simpler words. We have a workforce of 100 million. They're supporting 350 million population. That's too few workers for the number of people they have to support. We would have 150 million workers instead of 100 million, 50% more, if we hadn't killed them through abortion. We have entitlements that we owe to people. That includes largely Social Security and similar programs, things that people have paid into. They are owed by our government that money back. And our government doesn't have it. And the amount that we're paying, $1.5 trillion is how much entitlements cost us. And that's how much our entire federal income is. That means the entire rest of our federal government has to go on credit cards. We can't sustain that. Our nation cannot survive. And there's serious problems with all of the plans that say that they can balance the budget. None of them claims to be able to do it in less than about 8 or 10 years, and we don't have that much time. We can replace those 50 million that we've slain. They're waiting across the border to come pay our taxes and take our government out of its emergency condition. Do we have enough love to allow our own survival as a nation? Can the economy grow as dramatically as necessary to prevent a complete collapse of our government? Without them? Should churches urge Democrats to support the long-term solution, which is to criminalize abortion? Should churches urge Republicans to support the short-term solutions, which is to quickly replace those 60 million young taxpayers we've slain and instantly heal our taxpayer to entitlement recipient imbalance? Can we explain what happened to pro-life, moral, conservative Christian Republicans to get them to question what God says about population growth and adopt the anti-population, limited resources mythology of abortion-friendly groups like Numbers USA, Center for Immigration Studies, and FAIR, which were founded by the director of Planned Parenthood of Northern Michigan, John Tanton, with eugenicist funding? What happened to moral conservative Christian Republicans that they believed these people? 25 years ago, conservative news was reporting the infamous lifeboat exercises taught in public schools. You are in a lifeboat with a priest, a video game developer, a pop star, a doctor, and a tax collector, but you have only enough food for 5 of you. Did I count that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I said that wrong. Well, anyway, you got to throw someone overboard. Children were taught to judge who most deserves to live. God's answer, of course, is to pray and start that diet that you've been putting off. Now, doesn't the claim that illegals take jobs away from citizens overlook the fact that each new resident who takes a job also creates a job by purchasing the services of others in order to live, which explains why the number of jobs available is always proportionate to the population? Isn't the advantage of a larger population that there is a larger brain pool capable of supporting greater technology and innovation, which is needed not only for luxury and to maximize resources, but for defense? And the more technology we have, the more people can live, the more comfortably in the less space, and they prefer ganging up together in cities where they have more opportunities, as they say. Before pro-lifers became stranger unfriendly, they used to point out how the whole world could fit comfortably in just 1 or 2 states with room for everyone to have their own yard. But rather than allow our conclusion to rest on simplistic calculation, let's start by discerning what God says.